I just got my little app here, your smart mattress app. I'm not making this up, folks. I'm not making this up, folks. Did you purchase something like this? Let me stop you. If you feel like, well, hell, maybe this might be a good idea. Maybe it's something you buy for your children. You got teenagers that live in your house. You want to make sure they're not doing anything? If you feel like you need to buy a smart mattress for your mate, just leave them. Just leave them. Curious, how is Hillary and the Republicans going to work together if she wins the White House? They're not. They're not. Much like with Obama, the Republicans have spent so much time demonizing the Clintons and painting them as these crazy liberals, which they're not. These crazy progressives, these socialists, that they've backed themselves into a corner. If Hillary Clinton becomes president, you're going to see a continuation of the same tactics that we saw with President Barack Obama. I've been telling people all this time, oh, this was just about race. It was not just about race. They use race because it informed their politics. This is about politics. How do I know? Because the Republicans did the same thing with Bill Clinton. Did the same thing. They pulled Bill Clinton to the center. Okay, then Bill Clinton and his sexual peccadillos pulled him to the center as well. He had to do something, right, after being caught with Monica Lewinsky. Man, I wonder if that would have worked with Hillary and Monica Lewinsky and Bill, a smart mattress. I don't know. But I suspect that it'll be the same thing. They're going to vilify her, paint her as this crazy woman progressive. She's a socialist. She's anti-American. They already think that she was behind Benghazi. Like she was outside with a Molotov cocktail leading the insurgency and the siege on the U.S. Embassy that day. So they're going to paint themselves into a corner where they're not going to be able to work with her. If you paint the opponent as the devil, you can't go back to your constituents and say, hey, I made a compromise with the devil. That's what they did with Obama. And that's what they're going to do, I believe, with Hillary Clinton. That's the political game that the Republicans have chosen to play, period. No matter who the White House, no matter who's living in the White House, as long as it's a Democrat, that's the game they're going to play. Dale writes, that's just going to make your mate go somewhere else in the house, LOL. Exactly. Well, I guess the only way it works, Daryl, is that you buy this smart mattress and then you don't tell your mate about it. What kind of, man, listen, if I'm going to get some James Bond stuff, it won't be for that. That's ridiculous. Brent writes, someone needs to read the riot act against the people of this state, ... Thanks, Nate. Somebody needs to expose that snake. You talking about Kasich? Oh, absolutely. Kasich is a charlatan. You know, he's running a con game on the Republican Party. He's running around talking about all this great stuff he did in Ohio, but Ohioans, many of them have not felt the upswing since the end of the recession. A lot of folks have not felt the recovery. I'm just saying. And the people who have felt the recovery first are the people who suffered the least effects from the recovery in the first place. So how do you base success on that? It makes no sense. We should base success on how effectively his policies are lifting up the people who were the most disenfranchised, who were the most at risk in our country, in our state. But that's Kasich for you. And again, I want to make this point for anyone listening. If not for the Obama administration, Obama era policies, Ohio would be in even worse shape, many of which Kasich did not support. Ohio would be in better shape. More Ohioans would be working right now. I read some of the statistics for you of the unemployment rate, primarily of younger Ohioans. Okay, because we need to focus on everybody, but we need to sincerely focus on those younger Ohioans. They're the future. We can only speculate how many more jobs would have been created had John Kasich in his infinite non-wisdom decided to send back the $400,000 or $400 million that the Obama administration gave to Ohio in the form of grants. This is money you don't have to pay back. So we could have built a light rail system that would have connected the major cities in the state of Ohio: Cincinnati, Columbus, Dayton, Cleveland. Okay? They should be working on that project right now. Because you know what? Guess what would have happened? You would have put people to work on the project. Wow, they would have got jobs. So don't get me started on Kasich. A new poll, Ohioans want Kasich, just like I've been saying from day one, come home, John, and mess things up. Oh, my God. Rhonda writes, I agree, date who you date, but don't dog your own race while dating outside of it. I agree. Dale writes, Nate, you didn't address the news on Ray Lewis's son being arrested for sexual assault last week. I did not because I've been waiting for more information to come out. As I understand it, Ray Lewis's son was arrested for a sexual assault, I believe, on a couple of women. I could be wrong about that. He's actually a student athlete. And a lot of people immediately took shots at Ray Lewis because, well, you know, around Easter, he released a tape talking about stop the violence. And if he was a politician, he would have a barrel program. And if you didn't put your guns in the barrel, 25 to life and yada, 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 whatever. And so now it's kind of like, here you are on Facebook. You should have been talking to your son. Save the Facebook conversations from Ray Lewis and talk to your son. But again, you don't know the details of it. So I wanted to wait and see if this son was going to be exonerated. In these kind of situations, sometimes it's hard to tell. You never can tell. Mike writes, what about these high gas prices, Nate? What the H is going on? It's summertime. That's what's going on. A lot of people travel in the summertime. They want to take a vacation in the summertime. You got all the holidays in the summertime. Okay, you got vacation plans. You got holiday plans. You're going to be hitting the road. The oil cartels know this. The big oil companies realize that. They want to cha-ching and make up the money for the low gas prices that we have for so many months. That's all it comes down to. It's about dollars. You know, if you're upset about high gas prices, then we need to push politicians to seriously investigate and invest in alternative fuel options, okay, and wean ourselves off the areola of fossil fuels. That's what it comes down to. Very serious. I mean, they're going to run out eventually. We need to start reinvesting right now. But the big oil companies have already invested so much money in current production methods and current extraction methods, and they're making lots of money off of it. So, you know, they're running the game right now. That's what it comes down to. You know, wind energy, solar energy, harnessing tidal wave energy. I mean, there's so many different options. And I believe like the American populace is being denied access to these breakthroughs, to the information that's out there. I mean, you got entire American cities that are running off of solar fuel right now, solar panels. I don't know what you're paying for your electricity, but we would all be paying less if every home had solar panels at the very top. The sun is free. You know, solar energy is free. Why not capitalize off of it? But that's because the energy barons have already created a system in a way they can extract your money on a monthly basis. Comes down to that. So support politicians that support these ideas. They call these ideas progressive. No, maybe. It just makes common sense to me. It makes common sense. I'd love to get some. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look into that. Get some solar panels on the top of the house. It's free. Absolutely free. Let's see what here. Crystal writes, the smart mattress will make the hotels more money. Shaking my head. It might just do that. A smart mattress. So there's like a whole industry, right, that's on the rise for people in relationships who are insecure about being cheated on. And I'll be honest with you, I honestly don't get it. I don't. One, you cannot stop someone from seeing someone else. Number two, don't you have better things than sitting around with this anxiety about what someone else is doing, who they're with? I think it's a self-esteem thing. It's like, oh, somebody gets cheated on. It's like, oh, what does this say about me? It doesn't say anything about you. It says everything about that other person. But again, that's just my mental. I just look at things a little different. If you missed it, we've talked about numerous things. We didn't talk about this. Okay?
I was a kid. I lived in a country where people
news
couldn't accept a black
with
quarterback. Now think about that. A black man was thought by his mere color not good enough to lead a football team. And now, to live in your time, Mr. President, when a black man can lead the entire free world. Words alone do me no justice. So, Mr. President, if I'm going to keep it 100, yo, Barry, you did it, my nigga. Did it.
Yeah, it wasn't funny. I mean, on top of everything, it wasn't funny. It was poor execution. And his comments about Barry, a.k.a. President Obama, have been met with mixed reviews. Did you hear the latest from the White House? Yes. You know, one of the White House correspondents, sister, by the way, she actually asked the White House spokesman how the president felt and reacted to it. Would you like to know what the response was? This came officially from the White House. The response was that President Obama was not offended. And in fact, he appreciated the sentiment that was delivered by Mr. Wilmore. He appreciated being called the N-word. And I get what he was trying to say. You know, what he was trying to say was, you know, satire was in the air, and it was nothing more than satire, and he didn't mean in a disrespectful way. But again, I just believe that there is some language, okay, that is not acceptable in all spaces, okay? If you want to call that street vernacular, then keep it in those kind of spaces, okay? And there's many people out there that use the N-word when they're among friends or they're away from the workplace, okay? But there are certain situations, professional situations, and even though that was the White House Correspondents' Dinner, that's still a professional scenario for the president. And the other thing about that is that he further stigmatized and linked the N-word to primarily just black people. And I've seen videos of white dudes using it among themselves, okay? And the N-I-G-G-A means my homie or whatever. It's kind of different. I get it. It's kind of like one of those words that you got to take it in context, because I've heard N-I-G-G-A used in a term in which it didn't mean homie, okay? But I just thought that it was a low blow for Larry. Not even a low blow. It was reaching the bottom of the barrel for Larry Wilmore. I'm like, who was your writer? Cat Williams and Trick Daddy? I mean, did Larry Wilmore have writer's block the night before and he just thought, okay, I'm going to go with this? And even if he was going to use the N-word, I thought that he could have delivered the joke a lot better. That was just like the last thing he wanted to be heard. That's just me. Rhonda writes, he set us back about 10 years. This is so inappropriate. Even more inappropriate is that Obama didn't check him for it. Yeah, Obama appreciated the sentiment. How do you like that? He's like, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. I get it. It's just a joke. No problem with that. Tracy writes, President Obama needs to quit playing nice. He should have said he needs to put respect on my name. You're right about that. Speaking of which, did you see Birdman? He sat down with the good people over at Hot 97 in New York. You may not know this, but there's a real battle going on between Hot 97 and Power 105, I believe, in New York. The latter being which is the home station for the Breakfast Club. And I saw a bit of video. I don't have the audio for you. I can get it for you for tomorrow if you like. But he sat down at his Miami home with the rivals of the Breakfast Club, these folks over at Hot 97, Ebro in the Morning in their show. And I've seen clips on the internet. I've never heard the entire show, but they all do great work. Check them out if you like. And basically, I mean, more emotions. I don't care what no Negro say. I don't care what I'm making money. I'm about that money. But this man disrespected me, and I had to tell him put some respect on my name. What I will say is a couple things. Birdman's a capitalist. He's got T-shirts. He's got new videos. He's even got a new song called Respect. Not Respect